The Athlon Velocity PRO radar was designed for anyone. It doesn't matter if you're shooting suppressed, a bare barrel, a muzzle brake, it's going to cover everything from archery, air rifle, pistol, shotgun, and then of course your center fire rifles. We fired over 40,000 rounds to develop the perfect algorithm for you. This is not intended just for your high-end competitors. If you're a hunter, how can you be more successful? How can you make sure you make that ethical shot that you want to make? I'm excited to be out here with Brandon today to not only show him, but show you guys as well the capabilities of this chronograph. You can have the best wind call, and if you miss because of an elevation difference, that could be because of your ammunition, whether you reloaded it or bought factory. Knowing that your ammunition velocity is as consistent as your group is extremely important.
So what do we have here from our shooting?
Yeah, first, we got your average, but let's go back to our shot records and look shot by shot.
Yeah.
And we can kind of go through and see what our deviation from average was shot by shot.
Shot by shot, yeah.
You can go back and reference on your ballistics chart by plugging in some of these velocities what your vertical dispersion would be, since we had basically 75 feet per second from our min to our max. We can see how many inches that is at any given distance,
right,
to know if we're going to be within that kill zone or not.
There's a very unique calculation used in a lot of shooting sports called power factor. Again, you're putting in your projectile weight, you need to know that muzzle velocity. You don't need to calculate that yourself. The chronograph is going to display that on screen with every shot, and it's also going to give you that average over your entire session.
So power factor, 136. You're going to use that in a lot of pistol shooting sports like USPSA, IDPA. It's the weight of the bullet and velocity. There's a constant in there, but instead of doing the calculations yourself, you can see the average of all 14 of those shots averaged out in your power factor right there.
Air guns can be a lot of fun. They're very cheap to shoot. If you want them to shoot well, you really have to tune them, whether that is selecting the right pellet, adjusting your regulator pressure, or maybe your hammer spring tension. You can use a chronograph to not only see what your group size is doing, but how consistent is it.
Your bottle pressure was 150 bar, your regulator pressure was 150 bar. So if you're shooting a bench rest match, or maybe it's a center fire and it's F class, you're able to keep that chronograph positioned with you. You can see, okay, was that me or was that, the gun? In this case, you were very close to falling off your reg. So this could have been just a little bit of a pressure difference, right? You've got a good tune. We can see that on the chronograph.
Maybe you just want to know what's going on with your shotgun downrange, whether it's birdshot, buckshot, or slugs. You just want to know what's roughly my velocity. Did going from a 26-inch to a 20-inch barrel really affect it? You can see that. If you're an archer, maybe you have a specific broadhead that requires a specific kinetic energy or greater to reliably deploy on your intended game. You can use this chronograph by plugging in your arrow weight, or if it's a crossbow, your bolt weight, and you can see downrange what that's going to do. Is it going to reliably deploy? Don't jeopardize your hunt by not knowing your variables. When you go in to connect your chronograph and you go to manage that session data that you've imported, you can sort and filter a lot of different ways. We can see all the rifles we've shot today, our average, our min, our max, all of that's going to update. So you have a great centralized location for all of your data and your ballistics all in one app.